so much. Bueno, bienvenidos a City Hall. My name is Gilberto Pinela. I am your MC this evening, and I am honored to help celebrate 4 friends, so them sitting down, and that are trailblazers plus a first. La primera vez en la historia de City Hall here in San Luis. And in case you haven't met me before, I am the current communications manager at Cortex Innovation Community and the co-creator of Ahora San Luis, which is the first Spanish language television program in the city of St. Louis. Ahora San Luis, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Ahora San Luis and the newer version called En Breve aims at highlighting the contributions of Hispanics, of the Hispanic community and the growth and betterment of St. Louis. Today we are witnessing history as we join the recorder of deeds, Michael Butler, in celebrating the first Hispanic Heritage Month event here at St. Louis City Hall. Un aplauso. Thank you. Bravo. We want to thank everybody who joined tonight, especially with this weather that we're experiencing. I think that it's better that it's raining today than tomorrow, because tomorrow we play. The Cardinals play, right? Go Cards. So anyway, we also want to express our gratitude to the talented dancers from Our Lady of Guadalupe. We're looking forward to seeing more performances later this evening. So muchas gracias otra vez a los dancers de Our Lady of Guadalupe. Tonight we are all guests of the Recorder of Deeds, Michael Butler. Since his office holds our city historical documents and is our host for tonight, we thought it would be relevant to share some history about Hispanic Heritage Month. So if you can allow me a few minutes to say a few words about Hispanic Heritage Month. In 1968, President Lyndon B. Johnson signed into law the recognition of the week of September 15th as National Hispanic Heritage Week. Thanks to the legislation introduced by Representative George Edward Brown of California. Then later, in 1988, the week was expanded to a month from September 15th through October 15th by legislation sponsored by Representative Esteban Edward Torres, amended by Illinois then Senator Paul Simon, and signed into law by President Ronald Reagan. September 15 was chosen as the starting point of the commemoration because it is the anniversary of the independence of many Latin American countries. Hispanic Heritage Month celebrates and pays tribute to the contributions that generations of Latinx people made to American history, society, and culture. Although not often told, the many contributions of Hispanics to the history of St. Louis is notable. From Don Pedro Piernas, who governed St. Louis in the 1770s, not the 1970s, 1770s, to the Latinx players of our beloved Cardenales de San Luis. Go Yadi, right? Come on. No. Anyway, our Hispanic community continues to grow, thrive, and contribute to make St. Louis a place where you can start up, stand out, and stay. So tonight, we're here to celebrate our trailblazers, such as the first Latina committee woman in the city, Committee Woman Lori Lamprecht, who has been Committee Woman of the 25th Ward since 2008. And where's Lori? Stand up, be recognized. Muchas gracias por tu servicio. y contribución. We are also here to honor 4 Hispanic trailblazers. And in a first, we have a mayoral proclamation that October is Hispanic Heritage Month in St. Louis City. And another first, we also have a resolution from the Board of Aldermen. Alderman Dan Gunther will read later on. The resolution acknowledges that our Hispanic community has persevered and thrived despite facing hurdles and challenges. So, without further ado, I would like to bring up Neo Gonzalez, who is here on behalf of Mayor Laida Cruzan to present the mayoral proclamation. Neo. And I hope I said it right. No way. No way.
Good evening, everybody. Just want to thank you all for being here. I want to thank the Recorder of Deeds for organizing this event. Hispanic Heritage Month. Hispanic Heritage Month means a lot to me personally because I was born in Mexico, and having the opportunity to work with folks like Michael Butler, who recognize the important contributions of our community, just means the world to both myself and Mayor Laida Cruzan. So I'd like to read the proclamation that she wrote. I'm sorry? I'd like to read the proclamation that she wrote for us today. Whereas the city of St. Louis is comprised of approximately 75,000 Hispanic persons who have contributed significantly to the cultural diversity and economic growth of the city during their lifetime. And whereas there exists a long history of Hispanic Americans in St. Louis, from Pedro Piernas, the first recorded Hispanic American here in 1770, and who took over as the Spanish governor of St. Louis. And whereas this is the first year that we are celebrating Hispanic Heritage Month in City Hall of St. Louis. And whereas Hispanic Heritage Month recognizes the diversity and vitality of Hispanic Americans, from immigrants and refugees to 6th and 7th generation Hispanic Americans, and celebrates the efforts of thousands of Hispanic American St. Louisans who make our community a better place to live. And whereas on behalf of the city of St. Louis, I commend the vibrant ecosystem of schools, places of worship, community groups, businesses, and beyond that this community has built in many other languages, and I take this opportunity to salute all Hispanic Americans. Now therefore, I, Laida Cruzan, Mayor of the City of St. Louis, do hereby proclaim the month of October 2019 as Hispanic Heritage Month in the City of St. Louis. Thank you.
Noé González, señoras y señores, muchas gracias otra vez por la proclamación por parte del alcalde, la alcaldesa, Laida Cruzan. I would like now to introduce Alderman Dan Gunther. Is he here? Is he present? Yes, he is. Who represents the 9th Ward. He represents parts of Cherokee Street. Cherokee Street has the largest concentration of Hispanic-owned and operated businesses in the St. Louis, contributing many thousands to the tax revenue of our city. Their history and presence helps create a vibrant atmosphere for everyone to enjoy. So, Dan, are you ready? Sorry, I'm putting you on the spot. Come on in. Please give a warm welcome to Dan Gunther. How are you?
Wonderful. Hello, and thank you, everyone. I would actually like to introduce, first of all, my colleague from the 8th Ward in the city of St. Louis, Miss Annie Rice, who is the alderwoman of the 8th Ward, and who I would say would be the champion for a lot of Hispanic and immigrant and rights throughout our city. So I would like to first let Annie say a few words. So.
Sure. Thanks so much. Hi, everybody. Good evening. Thanks so much for Dan bringing me up here. We're just want to say we're so appreciative of you all being here, of you all being a part of our city, of all of your your participation in the city, just living here, being a part of the community, the businesses that you run, the community organizations that you run, being a vital part of our city, of the city of St. Louis. So I just want to say, we see you, we welcome you, we're so glad you're here. However we can support you and celebrate you, we want to be able to do that. So Dan has a couple of resolutions that we've presented, and thank you so much for everything that you do. It's fine. It's fine.
Let's set this down here. Yes, and as was mentioned, the alderwoman from the 20th Ward, our colleague Kara Spencer, was supposed to be here tonight with me as well. I do want to recognize her. She has a very young son who sometimes doesn't cooperate with her public engagements. So, but she did want me to say, a few words about Cherokee Street. So a couple years ago, I was elected for Cherokee Street in the 9th Ward of the city of St. Louis. I had already worked for a number of years with Ms. Spencer, Alderwoman Spencer of the 20th Ward. One of the first things that we did when we got into office together, kind of having a group of people working together for the interests of Cherokee and a lot of the Hispanic community that has been such a catalyst to the development, the small businesses, restoring houses, a lot of the work that has happened in the south side of the city of St. Louis on Cherokee has happened because of the community we have here. So one of the first things we did was we made a city proclamation to actually rename Cherokee Street La Calle Cherokee. We also put a plaque up on the corner of California and Cherokee Street that is a bronze plaque that describes the many accomplishments of our Hispanic community in the city of St. Louis, and again, what everyone here has done to help rebuild and stabilize and make a home for everyone on Cherokee Street. So with that, we want to thank you again. Alderwoman Spencer gives her regards, but she wants to thank everyone just as much. And we would like to, on behalf of the Board of Aldermen of the City of St. Louis, present our 5 honorees with a official St. Louis Board of Aldermen resolution. So, yeah, you can hold those. So we do have one for each individual, but I will just really quickly read this resolution. It says, honoring the Hispanic Heritage History Month. Whereas National Hispanic American Heritage Month is celebrated September 15th through October 15th. We pay tribute to the generations of Hispanic Americans who have positively influenced and enriched our nation and society. And whereas the City of St. Louis Recorder of Deeds, Mr. Michael Butler, and the Recorder of Deeds staff are celebrating the achievements and the accomplishments throughout the year of Hispanic Americans in the City of St. Louis. This is the first Hispanic Heritage Month celebrated at City Hall, and 5 St. Louisans have been selected to receive an award for making a difference in the St. Louis area. So at this time, we would like to invite...
we're just going to give them.
We're just going to give them to Michael.
No, it's Gilbert that we're going to present.
We're going to give them to Gilbert.
And they're going to bring up the honorees later to receive the resolution.
Okay, so we will give
It's a
these
live
to you.
show.
Yeah, it's a live show, yes. This is unscripted. But yes.
Oh.
Okay, awesome.
And they will be able to present them as well.
Okay.
So, all right. We thank you much.
Thank you so much.
Perfect.
Welcome to live television. Anyway, let's see, continuing this celebration, and muchas gracias de nuevo, Dan and Annie, for being here, por estar aquí con nosotros esta noche. I now like to welcome to the stage our host for the evening and the Recorder of Deeds for the City of St. Louis, Michael Butler. Michael, if you can come over.
Thank you. Thank you, Ms. Spinelta. Wow. Thank you all for being here today. It's been a very heavy day for me because for us to put on this event took a lot of work, and I first want to thank the staff of City Hall, and especially the Latinx and Hispanic members of City Hall who've been around. And please give them a round of applause to all the workers who put this on today. As, as the recorder of deeds for the city of St. Louis, our office holds all the archival history of the city. Cherokee Place, as we know it today, has over time morphed from many different periods. Today, it is a wonderfully diverse community with a magnetic personality that attracts your unique cross-cultural experiences heavily influenced by Latinx and Hispanic culture. Cherokee Place represents 250 years of evolution in the city of St. Louis. The neighborhood has been resurrected, of course, by Hispanic art, beauty, cuisine, entrepreneurship, hard work, and the heart of St. Louis. Where would St. Louis be without it? And where will we be without you? And that's what today's about. It's about you and the history that you hold and about the accomplishments that the Latinx and Hispanic community has done over the years. We have a copy of a plat of the area as it was recorded in 1891, and we have other documents within our office that record the rich history that your community has brought to our city. If you would like to sign the plat for Cherokee Place from 1891, we will have it framed in place and recorded within the Recorder of Deeds office. We ask that you take some time after the program to do that. I'd like to take the remainder of my time to thank one special person to us and the Recorder of Deeds, obviously myself personally, and that's the only elected Hispanic Latinx person in our entire city, and that's Lori Lambert. Can you stand again, Lori Lambert? Lori, please continue to stand. I'm going to talk. I said continue to stand because I'm going to talk very good. Lori is the inspiration and has been a very big part of the planning of this event. We could not do it without her. And we're in the seat of government here in City Hall, and in the seat of government, in government, representation matters. And Lori has made it her goal since I've known her for years to get a Hispanic or Latinx person, elected official within this building. I ask that we all join her in that plight and join her in that mission. And I, as a chair of this Democratic Party in the city, you know that I will continue to help you with that. I think it's important for City Hall and for the news media and everyone here to know that, contrary to popular belief, the city is not just black and white. It is brown, it is yellow. We even got a few self-proclaimed rednecks. But we are a diverse community, we're a diverse city, and Lori, we are so thankful that you are here to represent the elected officials from your community. Thank you for all your hard work. And now we'd like to recognize some community leaders from the Hispanic community. As today being one of the final days of Hispanic Heritage Month, we find it fitting to recognize many community members. Our first award of the night goes to a woman who needs no introduction, Ms. Hanini Hilberg. A true leader in Hispanic and the non-Hispanic community, Ms. Hilberg has been actively involved in several organizations and nonprofits for over 40 years. She's a founding member of the Hispanic Leaders Group and the Hispanic Chamber of Commerce. In 1994, she founded and currently serves as president for the Hispanic Festival Incorporated. Help me welcome Mrs. Hilberg.
Well, I want to thank you to you. I want to thank you, your staff. I want to thank you to everybody for showing up and coming and supporting. Now, the festival has been survived for 25 years, and one of the first festivals we did here in the city of St. Louis, across the street. And I had to thank the City Hall because they were very supportive, very helpful, and to this day. 2 weeks ago, we were here running around trying to get all the paperwork, and I cannot complain. Great job. You know, absolutely a fantastic job, and I want to thank everyone for being here, and I want to thank my family for supporting me in the good days and the bad days, and all of your friends. Thank you.
Thank you. Our next honoree is Amanda Colon Smith. Amanda Colon Smith is Executive Director of Dutchtown South Community Corporation in South St. Louis City. The organization focuses on housing development and stabilization as well as community engagement. In 2016, she led the groundwork for the DSCC's So Fresh, So Clean, So Creative initiative under a cooperative agreement with the Environmental Protection Agency to develop a comprehensive problem-solving approach to solid waste management issues in Dutchtown and the surrounding neighborhoods. Ladies and gentlemen, she's doing the work of government, and she's doing it very well. Everyone, please give a warm round of applause to Amanda Colon Smith.
Hola, gracias a todos. I'm a transplant to St. Louis. I've been here about 6 years, and I think with coming to St. Louis, everybody has a place. And once you find it, you commit to making the city better. In community and neighborhood revitalization, the South Side, we are the most diverse neighborhoods. My family is from Puerto Rico and Haiti, and I am using that heritage to bring together Black, Latino, all of our neighborhoods, all of our community together because we have more in common than we think. And so I just encourage everybody to come together and to be a bridge in whatever aspect of your identity that you have to find a way to connect. Thank you.
One more time for Amanda, everyone. Next, I'd like to present a proclamation and award to Eileen Wolfington with the Pioneer Award. Hey, Eileen. Come on up. Yeah, we're gonna say a few nice things about you first. Eileen Wolfington is currently a bilingual health and wellness program coordinator for our local nonprofit social service agency called LifeWise STL, formerly known as Kingdom House. Her varied interests include facilitating a monthly meeting for the Professional Latino Action Network plan, teaching Zumba, studying to become a certified healing teacher, practitioner, and networking with like-minded individuals to promote racial equity and justice. Welcome, everyone, Eileen Wolfington. Say a few words for us.
Hola, buenas noches to my Latino friends in the audience, to my Somali and other immigrant friends in the audience, Nadija and Ifra. Quiero darles las gracias por este reconocimiento. I want to thank you for this recognition, but it isn't all about me tonight. It's about the people that we help in the community and the love and the direction and the guidance that we get from our source up above. I love doing the things that I enjoy, promoting racial equity and justice in our community, because it hasn't gone away. Poverty doesn't go away. It's generational, so the more that we can work together, collaborate, and just embracing our differences, the more advanced we can become and make St. Louis a better and welcoming place for all people. Muchas gracias. Thank you. It's nice to meet you. Thank you.
Yes. Eileen, everyone. This will be it. Estrella Cruz Cruyol is a phenomenal designer. While in college, she shared her Cuban food and its flavors with friends and family. Black beans is a Cuban staple. It was her most difficult to get right, but once she mastered it, she was encouraged to do something with them. In 2019, Esty, as the community knows her, introduced her beans to STL at the Clayton Farmers Market. Since then, her business has been a success. Thank you for being a pioneer. Please welcome Esti Cruz Curo.
I don't know. I'm not quite sure how I made it here, but it is an honor and a privilege to be alongside these individuals that I've been hearing about, and I have met some of you along the way. It's truly a privilege and an honor, and thank you. I don't know what else to say. Bean up, have a lot of black beans.
Esti, everyone. Last but not least, Mr. Jorge Rio Pedre. Jorge is the President and Chief Executive Officer of Casa de Salud, a clinic providing high-quality, low-cost clinical and mental health care for the uninsured. Focusing on the new immigrant community, in 2015, Jorge was named the Eisenhower Fellow and traveled to Germany and Mexico to study the healthcare systems of those countries and bring back those learnings here to St. Louis. He is now the president of the Eisenhower Fellowship's St. Louis chapter. Everyone, please welcome a staple in our community, Mr. Jorge Rio Pedre.
Thank you, Michael. I really appreciate this honor. I think maybe all of you, if anyone still subscribes to newspapers, then on the front page today, you saw that St. Louis is now the third fastest growing metro in the country for the foreign-born. And one of the reasons that that is the case is because the city of St. Louis has done everything in its power to try and make St. Louis a welcoming place. And I echo the comments of my fellow honorees who say, you know, that we're honoring Hispanic heritage, and well that we should, but it's about all of us. It's black, brown, white, yellow, and every color in between that will make St. Louis a thriving community that everyone wants to live in. Special shout out to Lori Lampert, who works with me, and all the good that you've done at Casa de Salud. Thank you. So again, thank you for this honor. I'm deeply touched by it, and let's work together to make St. Louis a home for everyone. Thank you.
It's not about the word for you. Mr. Rio Pedre, everyone. I want to thank you all for contributing to our fair city. As Mr. Rio Pedre said, the City Hall in this city works very hard to make it a welcoming place for everyone. We need to do better, and we will do more. We have not grown as a city for some time, and our only growth comes from this community and immigrants who move here to St. Louis, and we're very happy for that. I'd like to thank everyone for participating tonight, and I want to remind you that we have a reception afterwards, and we're looking forward to hanging out with you and building community even more in this city. Thank you all for being here. I want to bring up our MC one more time as we close out the program. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Bueno, otro round of applause for our honorees. Come on. Is for sure a first. Es la primera vez que sucede esto en St. Louis City Hall. So let's take advantage of it. And I just want to say that we hope that we can make this a tradition. And I like to encourage everyone to look into the rich history of the Hispanic presence here in St. Louis. And also, as a side note, the Recorder of Deeds office is here to help you to research and record your family history. Last, to celebrate this historic occasion, we invite everyone here, please don't go anywhere, everyone to sign a document that records this historic event tonight. The document is on that table. So please go there, put your signature, make sure that people 50, 100 years from now know that this happened tonight, okay? We also want to thank Our Lady of Guadalupe for their fantastic dance. And after you sign the document, don't go anywhere because we can enjoy some performances by Colombian and Sumac Camari. I want to thank Sam's Taco and Rose Tamales, who's there over there, I believe. Can't wait to go and try them. Estela, where are the beans? You know, I want some beans. I want some black beans. Come on. Arroz con congrí. ¿Qué es eso? ¿Dónde está? Anyway, ooh, I got off script. I'd like to especially thank Rasheen Aldridge and Robin Davis for making this come together. Thank you so much, Rasheen and Robin. And last but not least, we'd like to ask the awardees to come back over here for a group photo. And let's give a round of applause to Recorder of Deeds, Michael Butler, for holding this event. Thank you. Muchas gracias. Please, por favor, stay, sign the document, enjoy the reception, and let's welcome the Colombian performers that are coming in soon. So thank you again. Have a good night. I'm Gilberto Pineda with STL TV and Cortex. Thank you. Muchas gracias.